Does the gentleman from Georgia seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, by direction of the Committee on Rules, I call up House Resolution 370 and ask for its immediate consideration.
The clerk will report the resolution.
House Calendar Number 50, House Resolution 370. Resolved, that upon adoption of this resolution, it shall be in order to consider in the House the bill H.R. 3009 to amend Section 241I of the Immigration and Nationality Act to deny assistance under such section to a state or political subdivision of a state that prohibits its officials from taking certain actions with respect to immigration. All points of order against consideration of the bill are waived. The bill shall be considered as read. All points of order against provisions in the bill are waived. The previous question shall be considered as ordered on the bill and on any amendment thereto to final passage without intervening motion except 1 hour of debate equally divided and controlled by the chair and ranking minority member of the Committee on the Judiciary, and 2, 1 motion to recommit.
The gentleman from Georgia is recognized for 1 hour.
Mr. Speaker, for the purposes of debate only, I yield the customary 30 minutes to the gentleman from Colorado, pending which I yield myself such time as I may consume. During consideration of this resolution, all time yielded is for the purpose of debate only.
The gentleman from Georgia is recognized for such time as he may consume.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Also, Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that all members have 5 legislative days to revise and extend their remarks and include extraneous materials on House Resolution 370 currently under consideration.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am pleased to bring this rule forward on behalf of the Rules Committee. The rule provides for consideration of H.R. 3009, the Enforce the Law for Sanctuary Cities Act. The Rules Committee met yesterday evening and heard testimony from both the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, the ranking member of the Subcommittee on Immigration, in addition to several members interested in this important issue. This rule brought forward by the committee is a closed rule and provides for 1 hour of general debate, equally divided and controlled by the chair and the ranking member of the Judiciary Committee. We are bringing this rule forward today because both the safety of American people and the integrity of our system of laws depends on its passage. No institution, body, or agency has the right to selectively apply the law or selectively enforce the law. The same individuals who claim exemption from our immigration laws demand equality under our criminal laws. Do we really want to live in a country where an agency claims the authority to pass political judgment on you and your circumstance to determine if the law applies to you? This is precisely what the administration is proposing. Not only are their actions contrary to public safety, they fundamentally undermine the most basic concept of law. I believe that sanctuary cities are unacceptable. That's why I was a part of the effort to prohibit them in Georgia and why I'm so committed to continuing this fight here in Congress. The tragic and preventable death of Kate Steinle in San Francisco at the hands of an illegal immigrant is the latest example of why we have to address sanctuary cities and enforce the law. But hear me, Mr. Speaker, Kate is not the only victim. According to the U.S. Sentencing Commission, of 74,911 federal crimes in fiscal year 2014, 27,505, or 36%, were committed by those here illegally. During an 8-month period in 2014, sanctuary cities released more than 8,000 criminal illegal immigrant offenders the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement was seeking to deport. According to a new report released by the Center of Immigration Studies, of these 8,000 released, approximately 1,900 were arrested for successive crimes during the 8-month time frame. I believe San Francisco and other sanctuaries, especially San Francisco, hands are soaked in blood now. They choose to protect criminal illegal aliens over an innocent American woman. Beyond the public safety threat posed by sanctuary cities, the federal government has the responsibility to be good stewards of tax dollars entrusted to them by hardworking Americans. There is no reasonable explanation in law or policy as to why the federal government should send money to cities in the form of grants or reimbursements to help them enforce the law when they are blatantly ignoring the law. It is a waste of taxpayer money to send this money to states for purposes of law enforcement when they clearly aren't using it for that purpose. The situation before us today is one of dangerous political hypocrisy. The administration has vocally stated immigration law lies with the federal government and the federal government alone. In fact, their entire case against Arizona was premised on that point. That was when states were trying to enforce the law. But when states don't enforce the law, essentially play into the administration's failure to enforce. The administration's claims there is nothing they can do. Sort of an interesting proposition. Last week, I questioned Secretary of Homeland Security about the issues of sanctuary cities. The Secretary stated there was nothing that DHS could do and that he didn't feel it was productive to try and force the cities to cooperate. The administration jumps all over states that help enforce immigration laws, including suing Arizona for enacting laws to protect its borders and its citizens. I ask, where is the outrage by the administration over San Francisco's failure to follow the law? Where's the lawsuit? It's not surprising that the administration is only outraged when states are acting in a manner that doesn't meet their political goals. DHS refuses to make sanctuary cities comply with the law, while at the same time DOJ is now requiring law enforcement in Maricopa County, Arizona, to provide services in Spanish to jail inmates and to have federal oversight for all workforce enforcement raids. This kind of political hypocrisy is the kind that has already cost the life of Kate Steinle. The administration wants a non-enforcement policy, but it is up to Congress to make the administration follow the law. And that is exactly why the Rules Committee is bringing forward this rule and H.R. 3009. Sanctuary cities ignore and shield illegal immigrants at the expense of law-abiding Americans, and the administration, through its failure to defend and enforce this law, is complicit. Listen, Mr. Speaker, I believe that sanctuary cities should be descriptions of cities that provide safe and secure places for law-abiding citizens, not the definition for cities choosing to provide safety for those flaunting our immigration laws. And with that, I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman from Georgia reserves the balance of his time for what